Okay, here's where it gets good. I'm going to take you through the part of the audit now that the liberal media won't, because it's too much work for them. And it raises too many new questions, so let's do what they won't. Let's look at some of those 505 samples taken by the Deloitte auditors. Here are a couple from last September, really at the height of the housing crisis. $20,962 spent on, quote, miscellaneous? Seriously. The vendor? Unknown. No supporting documentation. 21 grand, just walked out the door in the middle of the housing crisis. Oh, but $4,333 went to breakfast? That's awesome. No documentation. That's a lot of champagne and orange juice, don't you think? Or April of last year, $303,256 on a consultant. The vendor, unknown. Incomplete documentation. Could you imagine a single check being cut for $300,000 for a consulting gig in a town of 300 homes in the middle of a housing crisis? What were they, a roofing consultant, a hammer and nails consultant? How about spending $300,000 on getting someone with a hammer and nails and some shingles and some waterproofing to actually put a roof on these places? Or look at this one. Here's another one. An employment contract for $225,534. The vendor, unknown. Supporting documentation, zero. That's nearly $250,000 tax-free on a reserve. So that's like $400,000 to you and me. No paperwork, no invoice, no contract. The money just walked out the door. No wonder people on that reserve are so poor. I'll be quicker. Here's something called, quote, other purchases, $87,000. Auditor's conclusion, the occurrence was questionable. Did it even happen? That's what they're asking. 69 grand for legal fees. Unknown vendor, no supporting documentation. Was it banned business, or who knows? Maybe somebody's divorced, maybe a sexual harassment claim, who knows? Or maybe something completely unrelated to anything at all. We don't know. The auditors could not find out. All we know is the band money paid for it. And the money did not go to fix houses. Insurance, 156 grand. For what? For whom? No one knows. Here's a bunch altogether. For unspecified purchases, for completely secret consultants and contracts. These four accounts cover more than $600,000. That's enough to build a whole new house. No, it just flew out the door to consultants who obviously didn't even write a report or issue an invoice or even have a contract. You do that in the rest of Canada, you're going to jail, sorry. Here's one for $1.1 million to purchase buildings. But hang on. The band already owns all the buildings up there, doesn't it? I mean, it's all owned communally. It's the Indian Act. The vendor is unknown. There were zero supporting documentation. Question, was this $1.1 million building even in Attawapiskat? Or was it in Florida? That's not a joke. I want to know. There are a lot of these massive property purchases, secret. No information, not even location. Another $1 million worth right here. I love these ones. Just called other purchases. No details, no nothing. $311,000. No problem. And sometimes that other stuff can cost $1.797 million. That would be a lot of houses, but it had to be spent on, quote, other stuff. No paperwork, just other stuff. No problem. They'll sign the check. They'll sign anything. 81% of all the expenditures were this way. 81%. This isn't 1% or 2%. This isn't an error. This is a way of life. Just one more. Look at this one. A $1.75 million deal called subcontracts for service delivery. Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? But the vendor, again, the person cashing the check, is unknown. And the document is incomplete, says the auditor. But look, there was a word blocked out there. Put that back up on the screen. There was a word blocked out. Payment to whom? It's blacked out. Are you curious? Do you want to know who got that $1.7 million in Attawapiskat for, quote, subcontracted service delivery? Are you curious what subcontracted service delivery even means? Do you think maybe some reporter ought to ask Chief Spence? Or maybe you think the RCMP should? I think so. But the media party doesn't. Look, on Friday, Stephen Harper is going to meet with a delegation of Indian chiefs led by Assembly of First Nations Grand Chief Sean Atleo. Atleo's in charge of the guest list. He's the one choosing the chiefs who will be at the meeting with the PM. Do you think Sean Atleo should invite Chief Teresa Spence to this meeting? Put aside the fact that she's not the Grand Chief. She's pushing Atleo out of the way politically and morally, but put that aside for now. How about the fact that this damning audit is out there right now? What are the chances that Teresa Spence, her boyfriend, or others on this Indian Reserves elite, the Indian industry, the millionaires up there, the one percenters up there, what are the chances that some of them will be under criminal investigation for what this audit has shown? Does Sean Atleo want to go to a meeting with the boss of a band under such an audit cloud? Does Stephen Harper want to? This audit isn't the end of the story in Attawapiskat. It's the beginning of a new chapter, and you know that if the names involved were Italian names from the Montreal construction industry or French-Canadian names from the Montreal ad industry, instead of Indian names from Attawapiskat, there would be resignations and criminal charges flying. You know that. Do you love Indians? Well, if you do you care about the poor in Attawapiskat? The people who didn't get all that money? If you do, it's time to choose corrupt chiefs and their 1% of friends, or the suffering 99% in the leaky houses. I'm with the people. The media party are with the chiefs. So which side is our Prime Minister on?